Today I'm going to switch it up and do a voiceover while I'm cutting the ingredients for the Mirepoix. Mirepoix, it's basically used for a base for soups, stews, gravies, and sauces. Mirepoix is a French invention. It was invented by the chef of the Duke of Levi Mirepoix in the 18th century. But it's really interesting as a culinary historian looking at the cookbooks, because you don't really see the Mirepoix in the 18th century cookbooks. You see it more in the 19th century. The 18th century cookbooks, you see combinations of parsley, shallots, and mushrooms, or combinations of carrots, onions, and parsnips, or carrots, parsley, onions, and turnips. The Mirepoix itself, while you're cooking, can be sweated down, or it can be browned for a sweeter flavor. Later in the video, I do cook it up. Cook it up, my goodness, I saute it. The Mirepoix has a ratio of 2 parts onion, 1 part celery, and 1 part carrot. Interestingly, like, to save me from making a bunch of different videos, different regions have different types of what I would call a Mirepoix soup base. So here in North America, when we're working on Cajun or Creole cooking, they have what we call the Holy Trinity, which is a combination of onion, celery, and green peppers. In Spain, they have the Sofrito, which is garlic, onion, and tomatoes. Italy has something similar, and I'm going to pronounce it wrong. It's the Battuto, and it's similar to the Mirepoix. It's onions, carrots, and celery, but a lot of times you're adding garlic, parsley, fennel, and sometimes some meat to that. In Germany, we use the Suppengrün, which is a mixture of carrots, leeks, and celery root. And then Poland, they have something similar. Again, I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciation. It's the włoszczyzna, and that's carrots, parsley roots, celery roots, leeks, and then sometimes you'll add cabbage to that. And then when we're doing Cantonese food, you'll see a mixture of like scallions, ginger, and garlic. So these are all sauteed in an oil or a fat of some type. You might want to use butter. You could use an extra virgin olive oil, sesame oil if you're working with Cantonese flavors. But each region has a flavor base that they use for the regional food. And a lot of times that's based on the vegetables and herbs that are indigenous to the area that they are in. So I guess my challenge is for you guys is when you're cooking, if you're looking at a new recipe, maybe you can identify that soup base that's in there, that stew base, that Mirepoix, for lack of a better term. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to write them in the comment section below, and take a look at my other videos. Thanks for watching. All right, I have my oil heated up on a medium heat. I'm going to put in my onions. I'm going to put in my carrots. And I'm going to put in my celery. We're just going to let that cook down a bit. You can do this in a saute pan. However, I am using my Dutch oven because this is going to be a one pot cottage pie. You can roast your mirepoix if you want to, if you're doing something like a soup, or you can roast it, or if you're going to do a clear broth, you can roast them. It'll change the color of what you're making. You want to make sure that everything is the same size so they cook accordingly. I'm just going to pause this. It's cooking nicely. This particular recipe wants me to add the garlic now. As you can see, this is cooking up nicely. So how you cook your mirepoix, it really depends on your recipe. Some may want it completely cooked before you add it in to the remainder of your ingredients. Some want just the onions translucent and the carrots soft.